Well, Sian, the UK government, for a start, is not going as far as the Scottish government. All they are saying at this stage is, look, if you're meeting someone vulnerable, perhaps you should take a test first. There's no suggestion of limiting households, even in guidance. That's probably because all the pressure on Boris Johnson here is coming from the other direction. It's coming from his own MPs saying that Boris Johnson is already imposing too many restrictions. Now, as we speak, the Prime Minister is getting ready to talk to a whole group of Conservative backbenchers in a committee room in Parliament here behind me, trying to talk them down from rebelling. Now, the government will win the vote tonight thanks to support from Labour, but for Boris Johnson, this evening is going to be painful.
Face masks in more places, proving your COVID or vaccine status in bigger venues, mandating the jab for NHS workers. Tonight, there are votes on a series of measures in England that the government says are needed for public health, but which many MPs believe just go too far. This morning, the Health Secretary left Downing Street after a cabinet meeting where the Prime Minister said a huge spike of the Omicron variant was on the way. So by the time Sajid Javid got to Parliament, he was determined to make the case for the new restrictions.
When infections are rising so quickly, we're likely to see a substantial rise in hospitalisations before any measure is starting to have an impact. So there really is no time to lose.
But from his own side, the MPs weighed in.
Will he accept that many academics have doubted the previous forecast, describing them as hysterical, substantially inflated, consistently overconfident, lurid and severely flawed? We have had a problem with inaccurate forecasts.
Many of my constituents have contacted me concerned that these measures today are the first step in further restrictions against social gatherings and businesses. Will he assure them today that this is not the case?
This MP believes unseen damage has been done by the government approach throughout this pandemic.
The government has waged psychological warfare against the population of this country. It has scared this population witless to the point where many people now are severely ill, dealing with their own mental illness and anxiety, and they have been entirely forgotten in this process, and we're doing it again.
But Labour votes will get the government over the line today.
No matter how dysfunctional the Conservative Party has become, the country can rely on Labour. We will act in the national interest, as we have done throughout the pandemic, putting public health before party politics by supporting the motions under consideration this afternoon.
On the grounds Omicron is already here, the Health Secretary has announced the end of the travel red list and quarantine hotels. Unlike the measures he's trying to get through now, there was almost universal support for that. Andy Bell, 5 News.